The President of the United States has declared a war on coal and a war on jobs and essentially a war on West Virginia.
Well, really a war on America. When you look at it from that standpoint, there are 8 billion tons of coal is being burned in the world as we speak. The United States of America consumes about 1 billion tons. Now, what's going to happen to the other 7 billion tons? What's going to happen to the countries that are consuming and using 7 billion, and it's increasing rapidly? Nothing's being done there. We have done more to clean up the environment than ever in the last 2 decades. And there's more that can be done. The President's looking at some scientists and whoever's advising him, trying to meet standards that haven't even been perfected because the government hasn't worked with the private industry to perfect the technologies. We do have technologies that can help tremendously. We're caught in between right now. We have older plants, coal-fired plants that would be retrofitted, but if they try to retrofit them, they have to meet standards that are unobtainable. Right. So you know what they do? Nothing. It'll work. Why don't we use the scrubbers? Why don't we use the SCRs? Why don't we use the low NOx burners in plants right now that haven't been retrofitted? Why don't you work with the technology you have rather than meeting technology that's not been perfected because this government hasn't perfected the carbon capture sequestration, taking clean stream of CO2 off? Why don't we do that?
Because it's not about
more
science,
than any other country's done.
Ideology.
Hey, just a curiosity, on a scale of 1 to 10, how angry are you about this?
Oh, I don't think that you have a scale.
We can tell by your passion today. All right, Senator.
Well, it's just ridiculous. This is just ridiculous. I should not have to be sitting here as a U.S. Senator fighting my own president and fighting my own government. That's ridiculous. I want to work with them. I've reached out. I will continue to reach out. But I need a partner here. I don't need an adversary. I need a partner and an advocate.
Then Senator Obama, representing Illinois, and I was governor of the state of West Virginia. Our staffs worked together. We understood. They were working on all the new future gen and talking about a lot of the things that we had similar in our states as far as coal production, what we did for the country, how he forgot how this country has gotten to where it's gotten to now. The coal that's really produced the energy for this country for so long. It's defended this country. It's made the steel that's built the guns and ships and factories. And all of a sudden disregard it like that when they're still depending, Larry. They'll be depending on coal through 2040. That's his own energy department, EIA's estimates. That's 35% of our energy. I don't know where it's going to come from. It's going to drive the price up. Unbelievable. And on top of that, thousands and thousands of jobs. This is not just a war on coal, it's a war on jobs, it's a war on America. You know, if you look at this in the big picture, Brett, 8 billion tons of coal is being burnt in the world. And if we talk about the environment and climate, and if you a little bit about geography and the world, you know, the globe is round and the climate is all around. If they believe that we stop burning coal in America completely, and that's 1 billion tons a year, 1/8 of the consumption of the world, that we're going to clean up the environment. They believe the world's still flat. That's what we're dealing with. Why don't we have a war on an economy, a sluggish economy, a war on job growth? How do we get things moving again? A war on competitiveness, so we can compete with the world in the global market. That's what we should be declaring war on, to get people back to work. But no, they're declaring war truly on jobs, on American jobs. Basically, I said people should say a prayer every night for a coal miner. They gave you the life you have. You know, we've answered the call every time, and we'll continue to. And we're just asking for a balance here, level playing field. The 7 billion people who are using 7 billion tons of coal that we're not using, how's he going to change them? How about our trading partners? Why don't you get involved there? If you want to clean up the environment, why don't you have them use the technology we're using today? None of this makes sense whatsoever. They're asking us to meet standards that's unobtainable because it hasn't been the design and all that has not been perfected, the technology, and we're supposed to meet and hit a moving target. Brett, all I have said, we have coal plants today and we have utility companies that would retrofit if they were allowed to, but they have to go to a standard that's not even obtainable in today's market and technology. So you know what they do? They stay right where they are. They do nothing.
PBN, for news that affects America. Join us on our live show at pushbacknow.com.